Hey y'all, this is Nature Gnosis 555 and this is Kamar. It's been a minute, but I'm back. Um, I want to talk to you guys about breathing. I'm recording this from my phone, so it's a little bit of movement going on. Forgive my little greasy eyes, but I'm a little tired, so I put some castor oil on them. I'll do a video about that one day. It's one of my favorites, as a matter of fact. But I wanted to talk about breathing. So, what I have come to learn within this society is that we are not breathing to the fullest capacity to be of like complete advantage to us as these human beings. And, um, we don't breathe how we're supposed to breathe. We are beings that we take these shallow breaths, but it has to do with society, and I'm not going to go into all of that with the breakdown of like the complete breakdown of why it is we don't breathe properly. I'm going to just say the way that this whole rat race was created, it brought us to where we are now breathing shallow. So we're not living our lives to the fullest, and we're not as healthy as we could be, solely based upon not bringing in enough air into our lungs. So when we talk about taking in air, they also call air like prana or chi, right? So those are like energy, okay? The wind, like the oxygen that we're taking in is energy. So you have all these people breathing in these shallow breaths, and they're not taking in to their fullest capacity all of the energy that they could, right, to live a fuller, happier, more energetic life. So I just wanted to touch on some ways that we could try to fix that. Because you might be like, oh, I don't have time to be doing no extra deep breathing or whatever, but you really do have the time. And so I'm going to just go over a couple of things that I do. Once I learned about this, I mean, I've known about it for a while, but I really got into it now that I've been studying yoga, because yoga really touches on breathing. But I'm not going to make this into a yoga video. I just want to focus on breathing. But yoga does have a lot to do with it. So I'm going to just touch on it a little bit. So with yoga, when you're doing your positions, right, the whole key for you to be able to accomplish the movement, or the asanas rather, is that you have to breathe. You have to pull in that air, and you've got to like bring it down into your diaphragm, and then allow your stomach to be big like a balloon, and then you would expel the air after taken it all the way down to your diaphragm. You would expel it, or exhale, and you would exhale to the point of where you tighten your stomach up and it becomes small. Okay, so a lot of people don't even they don't even know that. People think that when they exhale that their stomach's supposed to be big, because you're like so like, say it's a person after they finish eating, they're like, oh man, I'm stuffed, and then their stomach looks big because they exhale. But that's because we don't breathe right. Because if you really exhale the way you're supposed to, your stomach actually goes in, not out, right? And when you inhale is when your stomach becomes big. So I wanted to say that, like, we can do things just as simple as when you're watching a show. You're sitting there idle, right? So in that moment where you're watching the show, breathe deeper. Take a moment to be conscious of your breath and breathe deeper, and then make it a habit. Like, I'll show you guys, like, just go in, like, see my stomach's kind of big, and then go, and then your stomach goes back in. That's how we're supposed to be breathing. So breathe like that. You know, when you're watching a show, take deep ass breaths while you're watching that show. You will really start to feel your body start relaxing. Like, oh my God, is she giving us more air, or is he giving us more air? I can't believe it. Like, this is amazing. What you will also find out is that you will actually need to sometimes go to the bathroom and do a number two, because when you are breathing properly and you are inhaling and taking in this beautiful chi or prana air, and then you're exhaling it to the fullest capacity, you will see, oh wow, I gotta use the bathroom. But it's because you giving your body that oxygen, and it's going down into your diaphragm, right? And it's like pushing down all of the excess bile or shit, however you want to call it. And so then it's making room for you. It's making room for your body. And so it will get rid of excess waste, right? Also, you will notice that you have to fart. People don't want to talk about gas, but gas is beautiful, because trust me, in the moments where you need to and you can't, that's when you realize how much you are grateful for when you're able to expel your gas, okay? So if you are having issues with expelling gas, then you need to breathe deeper. If you are having constipation issues, you need to breathe deeper. You need to draw in this air. This is not just air. This is not just what they teach us. See, you know, they really fuck us up in school because they don't teach you things from a perspective of like spirituality, because we are spiritual beings, and this air, this prana, this chi, that's why there's different names for it. In other countries, it's not air, it's not H2O, it's not just this scientific, like, oh, you know, that's what you're breathing, like, no big deal, there's nothing else to it. But there's everything to it. The breath is everything. And when you look at it from Eastern studies, they say the breath is everything. That the whole reason for life is the breath. Okay, and that's where, you know, you can get into the chakras, you can get into all kind of different energy works, because when you're pulling in air, it opens up the meridians, okay, which are the energy centers in your body, and allows things to flow freely like they're supposed to. You're giving your blood more prana, more chi, more oxygen. You are giving your body exactly what it wants. I mean, the first thing we do when we get here is we are breathing in. We're pulling in the energy. We're pulling in, you know, that sacred energy that keeps us alive. Okay? What else did I want to touch on? Okay, another thing you can do is while you're driving. I'm just trying to give you guys an opportunity to understand that there is time to breathe in deeply when you're doing other things. So, you know, you're driving somewhere. Excuse me. Breathe. Take the time to breathe. When you're listening to a song, breathe. If you ever like pay attention to movies, and whenever you see the gods and the goddesses when they're talking, I don't know if you ever noticed it, but I did. I noticed that like the gods and goddesses, like in movies, when you see the characters talking, they're usually slow moving, you know, beautiful, sensual, and they breathe deeply. Look at that movie with Aaliyah when she played Akasha. Um, what was the name of that movie? I can't remember. You guys comment down below. I can't remember the freaking movie, but it was when she played Akasha. She was a goddess. She was like a vampire or something. But if you look at her, oh man, she had it down. She was walking slowly, looking all extra lovely, breathing deeply, slowly, pulling in the energy, the ethers, pulling in that prana, pulling in that chi. So like when you're driving, you can do that. Listen to a song or whatever. If it's quiet and you're by yourself and you're not having a conversation and you have an opportunity to breathe deeply, do it. Of course, doing yoga. Now, if there's anybody out there that's like getting started with their yoga journey, breath is everything. Like I said, I'm not going to go talk into it too deeply, but breathing is everything with yoga. Okay. When you're trying to achieve those asanas, the way that you get into them, the way that your body melts into them, when there you look at that asana position and you're just like, that's impossible. No, it's not. They're not impossible. I'm able to do things in my flexibility that I didn't think that I would. When I first saw it, I didn't think I'd be able to accomplish it, but I have, and it has to do with you pulling in, like as you're in this position, and you may feel a little bit uncomfortable because it might be a tight space for you, but once you pull in that air, you pull in that chi, it starts to open up the meridians, the channels in your body, those energy centers, right? And gives your body that extra oxygen. And then your body starts to loosen up and loosen up and loosen up. And the next thing you know, after about 5 minutes of maybe breathing in that asana, you're in the position that you didn't think you could be in. There are some people that are like yoga, like yogis, where they will sit there and achieve an asana in one day, just off of breathing and concentrating and making sure that they're pulling in the extra air, where like, oh, they weren't able to achieve this stretch, but they stretched and stretched and stretched for a whole hour, and then they were able to get into the exact asana that they were trying to achieve. So I was just another, encouragement, like when you're doing yoga, make sure you stretch. Also, I want to talk to you about real quick your children and breathing. I find this to be very helpful. I'm a mother of 5, so I noticed whenever my children would get upset and angry or whatever, riled up, and I wanted them to calm down, I would take them, I'd get down on their level, and I would have them breathe. I would say, take some deep breaths with me. Or say they stub their toe or scrape their knee, whatever. In uncomfortable situations, breathe for your children. And also, you can take in that information too. When you're unhappy or you're irritated about something, breathe. Pull in more prana, because when you do that, you're giving your body extra oxygen. And with your kids or with yourself, wherever you hurt yourself, even from if this is a mental hurt or a physical hurt, when you pull in the oxygen, it goes to that area and will begin to heal it. Like I do with my kids all the time. Or even if they're angry or upset about something, I tell them, take deep breath. And I will take deep breaths with them. And then next thing you know, they start calming down. And I'm like, how are you feeling? And they're like, oh, I'm feeling so much better. And it's like, okay, good. All right, now let's talk about why are you so upset? Or, okay, let's get a Band-Aid so we can fix the boo-boo. Or whatever the case may be. And, do the same thing with yourself. If you feel in some type of way, breathing is so important. And so I think I touched on everything. I didn't want to make this video too long. I'm happy to be back. I had some lemons. I had to make some lemonade with my whole life. And I've been through a huge transition. I'm over here now like at 0 point. From a spiritual perspective, it's like when you just kind of like go through this transformation stage. And I think I might talk about that, get some what you call it? Some courage juice. I don't know what they call it. Anyway, yeah, and like talk about, all of the crap that I've been through and where I'm at now, but baby steps. So I enjoyed talking to you. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any like questions, or you want to express like how breathing has helped you or have helped your children, or you could see the difference. But it will also take you to a higher awareness and consciousness too, just naturally, because you're pulling in that etheric energy, more of it. So you're going to be more aware of things too. So it's going to do nothing but benefit you. It won't harm or hinder you in any way, shape, or form. You guys take care of each other and take care of yourself first and foremost. Love.